And here we go. Well, we can go over, what are we going to go over today? Let's go over VRX first. So VRX this morning, and I'm going to draw this all out. I'm going to move all the drawings. And so basically, I try to find a stock that's moved, anywhere between at least 7.5%. I prefer 10 to 12% in the pre-market action. And basically this is going to be news driven. Now that we're in earnings, it's going to be basically based upon earnings is the reason why these stocks are going to be moving. So the first line I draw here, hope you can see it a little bit better, is at the closing price here, right here, right there, and that's called the red to green line. Can you guys see my whole screen? Let's see. I'm gonna make sure you guys can see my whole screen here. Uh-oh. Didn't even see you guys can see it, huh? Let's see what's going on here. Let's see here. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, it looks like you guys should be able to see it. Yeah, okay, you guys should be able to see it. Okay, good. All right, so once I do that, once I draw this red to green line, what I like to do is to draw these percentages, basically how far the stock is moved up or down. So in this case, this is just basically Fibonacci lines, Fibonacci extension, but I've changed up the parameters here a little bit. Instead of their numbers, I just put in my numbers here. 5%, 7.5%, 10%, 15%, 20%. And there's the range it starts, the range end, and the extension start. And so when I'm going down, this range end is 0, and these two ranges are the same. And this is the Fibonacci extension. So what this does now, it draws out lines, as you can see here, of if the stock went down 5%, 7.5%, 10%, and down to 15%, and down to 20%. In fact, I'm going to reduce this a little bit. Let me reduce this here. Oh my gosh. All right, so now that I got those two lines, the other lines that I draw is the low, pre-market low, which is right here. And then I like to draw, I think the most important line to me is the pre-market macro pivot. And it varies, but in this case, it's very distinguished. You have the move down, and then you have a move back up, and then it starts coming back down. So the top of this right here is where I think there's a lot of sellers here. At this point, a lot of people they don't want the stock to go up any higher than this. So, if price action stays below this line, we are short. I hope that makes sense. Yeah. Does anyone have any questions so far?
Nope, makes sense.
All right. So let's go to the daily chart. Now that I did that on the pre-market chart, I need to know what lines we have on the daily chart that we can trade down to. And seeing that we don't know this day here, the only line that I really see that's, yeah, there's a couple lines that come into play. One would be a macro pivot right here, I would think. And then the other one would be the 50 SMA, which is that purple line right here. All right, does that make sense? See where I got that line from on the daily chart? And then we also have, if you want to draw the 20 EMA, right there, you can draw that. And hopefully nothing is going to go on below the red to green or go back above the red to green. I want to look. I really don't see any other lines I really want to draw. Probably won't go below 15%. So we're trying to catch it, you know, around the pre-market macro pivot here. So I'm gonna go back to the 5-minute chart. So going back to the 5-minute chart, when I like to trade these, for whatever bad news, I didn't really look at the news, you know. I actually really couldn't find the news on VRX, this pharmaceutical company, but I assumed that I wanted to get short around the pre-market macro pivot if I could. And as you see, it came right up through here, right during pre-market, right when it opened and it sold off rather quickly. I'm gonna go to a 1-minute chart. Oh man. And so this would be the first trade I'd like to take. Would be, you know, goes up, goes down, and opens. I would want to take it short right away. Under 21.48. My stop, you could put it at 21.56. If it, you know, goes back up below that, this trade is invalid. I normally like to try to take this trade when price action gets back, since it only went down around 7% pre-market, you know, it has to, you know, it came back around 5 or something like that. You know, more than 5. This is probably like 4 or 3%. Normally, if a stock goes down 10%, 10-12%, I like to see the price action come back up and this pre-market macro pivot be around that 5% area, and then take it short from there. But anyway, I hope you guys can see that this line is totally valid during price action, right when it opened and closed, and then you could have caught this nice drop here. I didn't take this in my day trade. I wanted to short in my day trade account, but there was no shorts available on the stock. And then it didn't occur to me to look in my TD Ameritrade just to buy puts. And by that time, I was too late. It already made the move. I was a little bit late to the party, so I did not trade VRX. But you can see that, you know, it made this nice move right off of here. Let's see. Let me open this up a little bit more so you guys can see a little bit better. Let's see. You guys have any questions on that so far? So that move is what I call my pre-market macro pivot trade. You'll see this a lot. I think it's more than 50% accurate. As long as you get price action that closes below the the pre-market macro pivot, you can take this short down. I usually try to take it around 5%, around the 5%. You know, if a stock has dropped 15% pre-market, then I would try to look to get in on a 50% pullback, which would be 7.5 or better. And I'd like this pre-market macro pivot, you know, somewhere around in here, you know. So Anyways, that's one of the trades here. Let's see. The other trade that you could potentially take, as you know, VRX came down here, is at the low of the pre-market low, which is right here. You know, as you come down here and this 2-minute 9 EMA begins to push it down through here, you know, you could use a stop above the 9 EMA as your stop, and then you're probably looking to get to 10%. So if you do the risk versus reward, it would be, you know, if you took a short right through here, right below here, you could use the top here. So you're looking at a $20.73 as a stop. Your entry is $20.66, which would be, you know, about 7 cents away. And you're trying to gain all the way down to 20, so you're risking 7 cents to gain 63 cents. Right? You guys see that? 60, maybe, you know, 57 cents. And this is actually a pretty good setup because you do have price action below the pre-market low. Then you have a retest, and then as it begins to fail, you get short. And I really am trying hard not to get into these trades on the first break of it. As you get in short here, then you might get stopped out here if you get nervous. But if this is the first, you know, this level can be broken, and as it breaks right down through here again, then you know I would think it's confirmed. Okay, any questions about that? Anybody? No? And you know, and if you look, the reasons why I draw these percentages, I've noticed that they really react really well to these percentages. So if you look at it, you know, this thing bounces right off of, you know, 2007, right? But isn't that right at the 10% line? You guys see that? Bounce right off that 10% down for the day. And that's once again based upon this red to green line, right? And where did I get the red to green line, guys? The red to green line came from the close of yesterday, right? So that's how you sort of measure it out. So yeah, you could, you know, got in, you know, if you could have got in here, that would have been great. Get short, maybe take some profit here at the first one because you know this is going to find some support here. It begins to reject again off of VWAP. 9 crosses VWAP, which is, you know, a very weak sign, and it follows it right down. And then your next shot to get short again would be right here, and you could take profit here again. So you can you're short, take profit, short again, add back, take some more, and then what happens right here? You guys see that? Right? It hits that 10, and then it gets range bound in here, right? And then what happens when the 9 EMA comes down and pushes it through again? Go to the 2-minute chart. Here's the first break on the 2-minute chart. Comes back, retests, and you can try to get short, and your stop is up here. So now your stop is 2010. Your entry is 2005 or something like that, 5 cents. You got a 5-cent stop. And then, you know, you're trying to get down to the 50 SMA. And looks like it's following this, and it doesn't look like it made it. So, you know, but do you guys see how I set that risk versus reward? and it's all based upon the 9 EMA, whether it be 5-minute or 2-minute chart. Do you guys see that?
Yep.
All right. Let's give another
Because
example.
the risk versus reward, I mean, the risk versus reward we usually do on the 5-minute chart, right? Or the 50.
Yeah. I mean, the 5-minute chart wouldn't be too much different.
Or is the 15?
Not the 15. No,
It's the 5.
15's a little bit too slow. I'm
Yeah.
usually trying to do my risk versus reward based upon the 2-minute or the 5-minute chart.
Okay.
So here would be your first break, your retest, and begin to fail. So this is your stop, and then your entry is probably once it breaks below the 10. And you know, those two lines there, that's 5 cents right there, right? 4 cents, 5 cents. Yeah. So let's look at that Netflix trade today that I missed while I was out playing tennis. Let's see, remove all drawings, NFLX. So one of the things, actually, I'll show you a couple of things for day trading purposes. One, I should have placed an alert right here. If anything, it was probably going to go long. I guess it could go short too, but I should have placed an alert above this candle. So as this broke here, I could be alerted. I mean, you try to move it down here, but then you're within these EMAs here, which I don't think you want to enter a trade in there. I think you want it to get out of there, out of this area here. So you could use the top of this candle here. And you can see it's beginning to, I guess, it hasn't made a decision yet, right? It's going here, I guess, sort of like that. And if we play it forward,
Attention, an alert target has been reached.
Yep, so as this one alerted, then that looks like a pretty strong candle. Hopefully get a little bit of a pullback and be able to get an entry in there. Let's see. That's what I should have done there, but I missed that. The next thing would have been looking at a 2-minute chart if you want to try to do a reversal off the top of Netflix. I think the best reversal, what I like to see on a 2-minute chart, because it's 5-minute chart's too slow. On the 2-minute chart right here, where the 9 crosses the 20 EMA. Here's the 9-minute EMA. Here's the 20 right here, right? So here's the top. It could hit here, bounce off, but as it gets a little narrower here and it's already failed through here. 9's coming down. It goes down, up, and as it gets short through here, then you'd see, hopefully right at that opening of this 2-minute candle, right? Opening here, hope as it goes red, you get short there, and hopefully your stop is right there. And then I guess you got a nice little flush all the way down to here, which would have been 252, 3-4 points. Maybe you could took some off here around VWAP. use the 2-minute, follow the 2-minute down, right? It goes down, follow the 2-minute. You don't need to sell because we're going to use the 2-minute as a guide to when to exit. And it breaks through here and it continues to go down. And then you can, if you want to take more profit down here, as it breaks back across here, you probably close it or wait for the rejection one more time. Now that it's followed it down, maybe you get a rejection off the 20, and then it doesn't hold, and then you end up selling and getting out. So this is one of my favorite reversals, is when this 9 crosses here. And there was another trade today that did that. Was it NVIDIA? NVDA did the exact same thing today. So look at this, guys. So here's the top, right? It gets weak, breaks below, comes back up. It doesn't have enough strength to get back up. It fails. You might try to get back. You might try to get in here. You might get a little negative, but it doesn't. Your stop should be right above here, right about here. It hits this again and begins to fail hard again through here. The hard part about taking this trade is that you have all this support down here. You got the on the 2-minute chart, you got the 50, the 100, and the VWAP on the 2-minute. So, and you see it reacts to that here. But once you get below that, then you're clear to go. It follows the 2-minute 9 EMA really nicely. Probably want to take some profit down here because it's so far extended. Comes back up and goes sideways. Maybe the 50 now will push it down. Pushes it down. Nope.
See, that's around the time where I said it. I believe that's around the time where I said it. It usually dies out. 11, 13. 11, 1 o'clock. It usually dies out. That's when the big boys usually do what they do, or they leaving. They take their profits with them. 13, 30, 14.
Yep.
1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. They usually make noise again.
Yeah.
And
okay.
That's what I've seen.
There you go.
And in the beginning of the day, you see nothing but green in the beginning of the day. I said, okay, it was red, but then I seen sparks of green. I was like, okay, whenever I see that, sometimes I didn't use indicators, I use volume, and whenever I see green like that, I said, okay, this might do something later on today.
Yeah, okay, when you see these green candles coming through here.
Yeah, I was talking about on Netflix, though.
Oh, on Netflix? Okay. Yeah, okay. Let's get to Netflix in a second here. Just want to point out this triple bottom here, right? Here's the bottom, low of day, comes back down, hits it twice, and it doesn't hold. So if you are holding short here, and if you drew low of day here and starts going back up, I think you better get out. Right? Triple bottom says that there's a bunch of buyers here that won't let it go below this.
Right.
All right. So let's go to Netflix. Take a look at Netflix. So yeah, so Netflix, we talked about the short right here on the 2-minute. And then let's talk about this long here.
So when it jumped this morning, I was like, okay, it might go off. And then went down. I was like, I missed my sell point, but I was like, I'm gonna hold, because then it started getting like a little consolidation right there over. It just started to just seemed like it was dying off. But I seen it was on fire this morning, so I'm just holding until later, and I guess it was a good move.
Yeah, I think they will tend to, after that first spike up, they'll sell off, and hopefully they'll consolidate for a bit here, and then either go up or go down.
Right.
if you taking this 5-minute chart here, these lines that I'm drawing here is basically an extension here. So I'm going from the low of day to the high, and this, what this purple line represents, is a 50% retracement between here and here, from the, oops, is that the low? Yeah, from the low here to the high. This pinkish line is a 50% retracement. And I think 50%, you know, on these moves is an important number here.
Yeah. And once it broke out of all the indicators, I was like, okay.
Yep.
I'm holding on to.
You're good to go. Yeah.
Yep.
So as you can see, the it came, you know, crashed down. It found some, you know, some selling here. Then after that, all the buying and selling finished off. Then it finally started obeying the 50 SMA. And as it gets back up here, you know, of course, you're gonna have selling pressure because it gets back up here. People want to sell down and try to push it through this 50 SMA. But it doesn't make it. Looks like it was going to go. I think I might have, yeah. It'd be hard to try to take this short through here because you know you're going to find support at the 100 SMA. And if you look above here, there's nothing above here. If you can get above the 9, then you have the 200, the 100, the 50% line, then you have the 9, the 20, and VWAP, and the 50 all going back up. And then now you're in the clear open space up here. So if you're in this spot here, you know, this is not really a great time to trade because you don't know if it's going long or short.
Right.
You know, it looks like it's going short now, right? Because it's all below here, but it's tough to take this short right into support. So, but yeah, you can try to justify it. You know, that's a $2, you know, maybe a $2 move right through here, and you say, oh yeah, my stop is, you know, 254.71. That's at the $1. So you're risking $1 to make $2. It's 1 to 2. That's not really good risk versus reward. I like at least 3 to 1. 3 to 1 or better. So if you took this to a 2-minute chart, you'll begin to see, actually some of the 1-minute chart I think shows it the best. So if you were long, now you probably have to try to ignore the lines. And in fact, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to create another window. Put this down here. And then we're going to remove all the drawing tools. And remove, remove studies. And I think if you could try to look at just the candles on this would probably be your best way to do it. And then let's say around here is that 50% line. So if you just look at the candles, because the 1-minute chart, there's too many lines, it moves, the moving averages move too fast. But if you can just follow the pattern of the candles, I think you'll do okay, and it'll give you an early indication of what the 5-minute chart is going to do. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Can you guys see that? I'm trying to make this bigger. Let's make this 6. Make this 30. So from here, I think it's. I'm sorry.
And I held on to it because once I seen it, it broke through everything.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay. I remember Jonathan told me, you're in the clear, and
exactly.
it can bounce off any one of those lines. So
Yep, that's exactly it.
I
So
just
you can
held
see
on.
on the 1 minute chart here, this is at 1329, right? The 1 minute chart. So if we go back to here and let's go to a 2 minute, you might be able to see it a little bit here at 1330, 1329. That's sort of right within here. Yeah, 28, 29, right through here. Yeah, see, that would have been above VWAP. We probably would have been, the indicator on the 1 minute chart probably would have been here, not up here. But you do have a small little bit of resistance on the 2 minute, but once it gets over that, and now you're really in the clear, you can get in here as well and go long. And that was a really good trade. And then there's the 5 minute chart of that. And it's a little bit harder.
I was on a 5 minute chart when I seen that I was in the clear.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, so if you're already in, then this is great, good confirmation. It's you got support here. But if you're looking to get in, you might want to look at the one, and something's going to happen here. It's going to go one way or the other when all this stuff gets really tight. And the 1 or 2 minute chart might give you just an early indication of what's going to happen. Yeah, it'd be hard to trade short into here. It'd be best to try to go long. And that would have been a great trade right there. Your stop could have been 253.77. Your entry is maybe above this one, 254. That's a $1. And then you can say I'm going all the way up to high of day. That's at 59. That's 5 points, 5.5 points almost. And then it went even further for the rest of the day. And then here you can follow the 9, maybe the 20, and then catch a little bit more. So anyway, like I said before, following that 9 EMA is really important, and try to trade outside of these lines. Any questions, you guys? No? I want to show you guys one from yesterday, FSLR. I'm going to go all the way back to here, FSLR. So I want to draw this red to green line, right? This is red to green line at the top here, right there, okay? That's where it closed the day before. The pre-market action, I don't know if I have the percentages on here. I probably erased the percentages. Let me draw it real quick here. Boom, boom. So when we're going up, going long, these two numbers, your extension is the same and your end range is the same, but the start is 0 when we're going, if the stock has gone up. So instead of changing this to 0, we change this number to 0, and these two numbers are the same. And then there's your numbers right there. So pre-market high right there. In fact, let me erase some of these lines here. This was, I have to keep that. Okay, so on this one, the pre-market macro pivot would be either here, it'd be one there, and then I think I would draw one right here too. He goes down, finds support, people buying it up, comes back down, gets knocked down. Maybe, actually, you know something? Maybe that pre-market macro pivot was here. It was here at the 5% level. So yesterday when I traded this, I took it as it went up. It came back down. I got long. I bought some calls because I know it closed above this level here. I would use this as my stop. So it goes up, comes back down, retest this. I'm in at 72.67 as it opens and goes red or green. I think actually I'm on a 2-minute chart. Actually, I used a 2-minute chart on this. Oh, that was, no, that's not the right one. This is this day here. Yeah, so I believe I got long here. So it went up first 2 minutes, second 2 minutes, and then as it opened, it went down and it started coming up. I got long because this is a lower, this is a low, higher low, higher low. It's higher high, and 9 EMA is going up. It's above all the moving averages. We got a clear space up to the top here. So my stop is, pretty tight, below 72.50, and my stop is, 75.19. And so I was up, a couple $100 through here, and then gave some of it back, trying to go long through here again. And once this failed through here, I got out, right? Because it's below this pre-market macro pivot. And as you can see, it totally respected it. Probably should not have traded against the 9 here, but I thought I might find support and shoot back up, but it didn't, so I got out quick. And then the spot that I want to talk about on FSLR is this red to green line right here. I mean, gosh, it would have been nice to take a short through here, but because it was good news, I did not want to trade against the trend of the day. But once it got down to this level here, and it looked pretty weak. Let's go to a 5-minute chart. Really should have took it short through here. Came up here, especially when it came up here and it failed here again, and it broke through, retest, and then it should have got short through here. First time, second time, and then really get short. And this happened pretty quick. And this was a good $1 move. 77.90. That's like a $2 move. But you can see how I followed the 9 EMA, and that's the reason why I draw this red to green line. Because when it does ultimately reverse, you could possibly take this trade right here as a 9 EMA pushes price action through here, so you would only had a 10-15 cent stop, and you would have had a nice $2 window. And I believe there is a level here. I think it was the 50 SMA. I think the 50 SMA was actually up here. I can't really remember. But there was a level right here that it hit and it just bounced right off of. Anyway, so this is sort of the day trading, analysis, sort of similar to the, doing the swing trading, but we're just doing it on a smaller time frame. So you guys have any questions? Anybody? Nope. All right. Other than that, what else? I think was it UAL today? I think UAL also sort of had the same thing today with the 9 EMA. You guys see that right there? So if you didn't catch UAL going short through here right off the bat, this looked pretty weak. You didn't catch this short. It's probably the best shot would to get short through here as 9 as it goes down and it comes up, retest this level. So your stop is above the 9 EMA, 71.33. You get short hopefully through here, 33-cent stop. And your next level of support is right here at let's say at 69.66. So you're talking about $1.50. So that's good risk versus reward. 32 cents, 33 cents for $1.50. That's a great risk versus reward. But later on, it really obeys this, and then we need to, and it's a good chance it's going to go down to the 200 here. If we can just break this level, right? And if you break that level, what is the reward here? 68.51 to 69.66. So you're talking a 1-point window, right? So you only want to risk at the very most 20 cents to capture this window, right? So then it'd be like a 5-to-1. So you can't take it here. You can't get short here because if this is 66, your stop is above the 9, right? It's too far away. It's 40 cents. That's a 2-to-1. You don't want to do that. So let's play forward here. We'll go 5-minute. And now we're looking, that is at 70, and now that's still 40 cents, still too much. Now that's looking a lot better here, but now it might be a little bit too far, so we're going to have to wait for a retest before we get short. Missed it. So if you used a 5, you would have missed it. You might have missed it unless you acted quickly, okay? So once again, as you get tight into that, if you get really close to that area, this is where you want to switch to that 2-minute chart. So can you see the 2-minute chart looks so much weaker through here? Right? And you do get a good entry on the 2-minute chart right here. On the 2-minute chart, there's your high at 74. And you're below the 9 EMA, and then you get the nice flush. So that would have been your tight, a tight stop. So you took about, 10, 15 cents, 20 cents, and you're trying to gain $1, and you got a little bit more. And that was United Airlines today. Anyway, so that's really all I got. I hope that makes sense to you guys. Once again, we're just following the 9 EMA, trying not to trade against it. I think Apple today, here's the 20 EMA. It broke down. 9's crossing VWAP. You got short through here. I wanted to get, I think I got short through here, and then I got chopped up through here. I ended up just taking profit, and but once I think it broke through here, I had a good feeling that it was going to make it all the way down to, there's the low a day. Actually, let's see, this is the low a day here. Once it broke through here, had a good chance to get down to the 50 SMA, which it hit that right to the penny and then bounced off. So that was a $1 window here. And as it broke through here, you know, you could have a good risk versus reward. Let's go to a 2-minute chart. And once again, yeah, it looks, you know, you might have tried to get short through here. You might have held on through here. You know, use this as a stop. Wouldn't have stopped you out. Then as it broke through here, you might have added short and capture this $1 window right here. $1 plus with a 10-15 cent stop. All right. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. Hope that makes sense. Hope that reinforces more, you know, of what we're talking about. Any questions? No? All right. Well, if not, I'm going to end this.
No, I appreciate it.